Hello, and welcome to today's lesson on character traits. Today, we're going to be having a look at the story of Crunch the Crocodile. You've got to listen to this story when Mrs. Carnell was reading it above. Today, we're going to be having a look at what is a character trait. What sort of character was Crunch at the beginning of the story? What clues are there in the text to explain what sort of character Crunch was? Our task today is to write a sentence to describe Crunch's character traits at the beginning of the story. What are character traits? Yesterday, we had a look at Crunch's qualities, what Crunch looked like on the outside. A character trait tells us what a character is like on the inside. We think about the character's thoughts, the words that are written in the story. We think about what we learn from the actions of that character and their thoughts. We think about feelings words. Words that can describe what a character is like on the inside. I can think of the story Inside Out, where the girl was feeling different feelings on the inside. She was feeling sad, happy, angry, and scared. Those are all character traits. I wonder what sort of character Crunch was in the story. Let's have a little look at the list that we have here. There are 3 columns in this list. One column talks about nice character traits, like bright, cheerful, and caring. Do you think that Crunch was a caring character in the story? The second column looks at the word mean. There's lots of different words there that mean mean, like angry and bossy and cruel. Do you think we could use these words to describe Crunch in our story? The last column has the word sad, antisocial, depressed or down. I wonder if that describes Crunch in this story. There are many ways that we can tell what a character's character traits are. We can use clues from the story to help us. We can think, what do they do in the story? What do they say? And how do they feel? Here are 2 different pages from Crunch the Crocodile. On the first page, it says, on the banks of the river lived a greedy crocodile. His name was Crunch. All the creatures of the river would tremble when they heard his voice. Crunch and munch, crunch and munch. My name is Crunch and I want my lunch. I can see a couple of words there that I can think about and think about what sort of character Crunch was in the story. I can see there the word greedy. He was a greedy crocodile. I can see the word there tremble. All the other creatures would tremble when he came or when they heard his voice. I don't think that these are showing me that Crunch's character traits are nice at the beginning of the story. Let's have a look in the second sentence, in the second page, to see if there are any more clues. When the fish heard him coming, they would swim away. When the frogs heard him coming, they would hop away. When the worms heard him coming, they would wriggle away. When the snakes heard him coming, they would slither away. And when the lizards heard him coming, they would run. I don't think if Crunch was a nice character, the other animals would swim, hop, wriggle, slither, and run away. So what Crunch was doing in the story, yelling at the other animals and making them tremble, is showing me that he has been a mean character in this story. Let's write a sentence about Crunch. At the beginning of the story, Crunch was a mean character. In this sentence, I've told you when. At the beginning of the story. I've told you who named my person, Crunch. And I've told you what he was. He was a mean character. Why was he mean? What did we read in the story? He would make the other animals tremble when they heard his voice. That was a right there answer in the story. The author used the word tremble, or another word for shake, to show us that the other characters were frightened of Crunch. He was very impolite when he yelled, "Crunch and munch, crunch and munch. My name is Crunch and I want my lunch." I don't think if you were being friendly or nice or kind, you would be yelling out those words. All of the other animals were frightened of him, and they would swim, hop, wriggle, slither, or run away. It told me right there in the story that that was their actions when he was coming near them. Now it's your turn to write a sentence about Crunch. I'd like you to name your person. Crunch is your person. Crunch was... I remember we were looking at the column with all of the mean words. Crunch was mean because he... Tell me why he was mean. What did he do? Crunch was angry because he... Crunch was bossy or cruel or disrespectful. I'd like you to write a sentence about Crunch, telling me what sort of character he was like on the inside, or his character traits, and I'd like you to draw a picture of Crunch at the beginning of the story underneath your sentence. When you'll finish your sentence, if you would like to, you can take a picture and send it back to your teacher. Good luck! I can't wait to hear them.